Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Muhammad Shaikh's channel. Please click the bell icon so that you may receive timely notifications of our upcoming videos. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the stoned. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. With the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace, blessings, and mercy of Allah be unto you, all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of International Islamic Propagation Center, I would like to welcome you all to this evening's program. My name is Muhammad Taj, and I will be hosting this event for you. Before I invite Brother Muhammad Shaikh to come to the rostrum and deliver his speech on tonight's topic, entitled What Al-Quran, the reading, says about Riba, translated as increase. Ladies and gentlemen, for the sake of those who have joined us over here for the first time, I think it is important for me to devise the format for you. In order for you to follow the lecture effectively, Brother Muhammad Shaikh has compiled a booklet for you. This is a reference booklet. It has been provided to all of you. If you open this booklet, you will see on the right-hand side are the ayat in the Arabic text along with the references, and the corresponding page has their relevant English translation. The ayat in this booklet are placed in a specific order as to be followed, and Brother Muhammad Shaikh will elaborate the ayat in the same sequence as you see them in the booklet. Before I invite him, I also think it's very important for me to inform you that there are a few ground rules that we find important to highlight, and we expect, and it's mandatory for every one of us to observe. During the lecture, it is advised, it is requested kindly not to interrupt the speaker by asking any questions or raising any concerns whatsoever. You will be given a significant amount of time to ask your queries and have them addressed by the speaker in the question and answer session, which will be held at the end of the lecture. And the format of the question and answer session I will devise to you at a later time. It is with great pleasure that I invite the speaker, Brother Muhammad Shaikh, to come to the rostrum and enlighten us with his talk on tonight's topic entitled What Al-Quran, the reading, says about Riba, translated as the increase. Brother Muhammad Shaikh.
Thank you, Brother Taj. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings of Allah to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek refuge with Allah from the shaitan, the stone. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. With the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. The topic is what Al-Quran says about Al-Riba, translated as the increase. Before I discuss the relevant verses, I would like to educate or what are the words that are translated for riba is interest and as well as usury. Usury and interest are the words translated for riba in English translation. So I will be discussing few words, what in the Arabic language they have occurred and what are the proper translations. For example, you will hear the word al-ba'i, which means the deal. And if you know in Urdu, soda. Al-ba'i is the deal, or Urdu soda. Then there is tijara, which simply means business. In Urdu also we know tijara means business. Now this word is very important for our lecture, and that is al-ghanim. The word ghanim is translated by the few people in the English translation as booty or loot. In Arabic language, ghanim means the profit. The profit. In Urdu, it will be munafa. In English, the word is ghanim. The translation for that is the profit, and in Urdu would be munafa. But the Arabic language is such, there are certain words of Arabic language which is also are used in the similar fashion. The name is the same and in the meaning is different. In Arabic language there is a word nafa. In Arabic language there is a word nafa'a, which is translated in English as advantage. Advantage. And in Urdu language will be faida. But in Arabic when it is nafa, in English is advantage or faida. And when it is ghanim, the English language says, translate is profit, and Urdu is nafa. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So Arabic nafa in Urdu is faida. And in Urdu nafa, Arabic is ghanim, profit. Then there is zakah. Zakah means justification. Tazkiyah, justification, zakah. We will discuss these, how it is justification, but I'm just giving you the meanings. Then there is one word is sadaqah. Sadaqah means in English language, charity. In Urdu, khairat. Khairat. Again, this word khairat is also used in Arabic, which means betterment. In Arabic, khair means better, or khairat means betterment. But in Urdu, for the word is a similar word. In Arabic is sadaqah, means charity, and Urdu is khairat. And the word ar-riba, the topic ar-riba means the increase, where normally people have translated as usury for riba. Now, I would like to first give you the understanding, the meaning of the word usury in English. What is a usury? It means an excessive amount of rate or interest, especially in excess of the legal rate. There is a rate when we convert from dollar to pound, or whatever the conversion rate is, equal to that rate. If you take excessive amount of rate of interest, especially in excess of the legal rate, whatever the country has decided that this is the legal rate, if you are taking more than that, it is usury, or it is known as usury. This is the meaning of the usury in dictionaries. Or another word usury is used when you practice of lending money at an excessive rate of interest. When you lend money to someone and you said, I am giving you 100 rupees or 100 units of any amount of any rate, any currency, and when you return to me, I will take 105 or 110, whatever the amount extra money you are asking. This is also meaning as usury. Whenever you lend money to somebody and then you are taking some extra amount again back, that is also known as usury. And a person who is involved in this kind of business is a usurer. U-S-U-R-E-R, usurer. A person, individual who does business of lending money with taking usury and interest, taking some amount. It is known as interest and usury. Similar sort of thinking is done by banking. The bank gives the loan to individuals on a certain amount of interest, or they take certain that we are giving you this amount of money, you have to return back, not the similar, on an interest base, on a usury. They will increase that amount and ask you to pay back, because You'll do business for that. Or if you keep some money to the bank, and then the bank gives you some interest, again it is usury. So the banking system is based on usury. It is a business of lending money. And that is what people in the world are saying, this is wrong, haram, unlawful. This is what you all know. Now, amazing part is this concept, where this concept originates. Because we all know that in the time of Muhammad, peace be upon him, there were no banks. But the concept was there. The concept is that giving loan to somebody and then taking interest on it or usury on it, that was known. So the concept is existing in Bible. You see, in Exodus, you can write down the references. Exodus 22, verse 25. And it says, if you lend money to any of my people who are poor, who are in need, do not act or take money, lender, user, and require him to pay interest or usury. If you are a rich man, if you lend money to any who is poor, do not act like as a money lender or a usurer that you take profit to pay back interest. This was the concept based in Bible, that whenever you are giving money or lending money to people, you cannot take interest, extra money back. You have to take the same money back, whatever the money you gave. This is based in the Bible. Then in Ezekiel 18 verse 8, he does not lend money for profit, usury, interest. He refuses to do evil and gives honest decision in any dispute. Now here the character is described of a human being who is not taking interest. He who does not lend money, he does not lend money for profit. He lends money but not for profit, not doing this business of taking interest or usury. He refuses to do evil and gives honest decision in any dispute. This is a character, good character of a person described by the Bible who is lending money but is not taking interest or usury. This is the definition as described in the Bible. So now another verse is Nehemiah 5, 1 to 7. You can write down the references. Now this is a small narration, just listen to the narration. Sometime later, many of the people, both men and women, began to complain against the Jews. Some said, we have large families, we need corn to keep us alive. Others said, we have to mortgage our land, our fields and vineyards and houses to get enough corn to keep from starving. Still others said, we have to borrow money to pay tax on our fields and vineyards. Then I consulted myself and I got angry at the nobles and the officials and the rulers and said unto them, then you take exact usury from his brother? And I set a great assembly against them. This was a problem in all times, today also. People who are rulers are taking mortgaging the things of the poor people and vineyards and houses, and they are giving money to the poor people and asking for interest, and this is how it has become a practice all over the world, and this is supposed to be wrong according to the Bible. This is a biblical law, and biblical Christians and the Jews are practicing or not. But whoever is believing in this, that if you lend money and if you ask some interest, is based on not Quran but Bible. Now furthermore, how this come about, there are verses in the Bible about how to deal with the non-Jews, Gentiles. According to the Jewish race or according to the Christian Bible, the Jews are supposed to be the most selected people for God. They are lovable people of God, astaghfirullah, according to the Bible. So they think we are the highest race, and the other non-Jews are Gentiles. So this is how they are to treat in the world. Deuteronomy 20 verse 10 to 12. When you go to attack a city, first give the people a chance to surrender. If they open the gates and surrender, they are all to become your slaves and to do forced labor for you. But if the people of that city will not surrender, but choose to fight, surround them with your army. And in Deuteronomy 20:13-15, then when the Lord your God let you capture the city, kill every man in it. 14, you may however take for yourselves the woman, the children, the livestock, and everything that belongs to your enemies. The Lord gives it to you. That is how you are to deal with those cities that are far away from the land you will settle in. Now this is the concept of the Jew in Deuteronomy 20 and onwards, that wherever you go, before attacking any city, you ask for peace or surrender for them to surrender. If they surrender to you, make them your servants or make them forced labor. Capture their belongings, everything, loot and booty, take all of it and make them your servants and ask them to do your forced labor. And if they do not surrender, then they attack them. Surround the army and attack them and kill every man. And capture the city. If you capture the city, then the belongings of the people, you capture that. That is booty and loot. That is the concept given by the Jews. And in the Bible, that you attack cities, loot the people's money, and then hold it. Take it for you. You may, however, take for yourself the woman, the children, the livestock, and everything that belongs to your enemies. Take everything. This is known as loot and booty, described in the Bible for the Jews to take over the world. You have to do this. And that is what they are doing all over the world. In Japan, Nagasaki, bomb was dropped. For what? And nowadays you will see in all the Arab society, people are getting uprisings and uprising of people. So they want to take control of the wealth of the Muslim community or the Arab world. This is the concept that you capture them, take their belongings and make them your servants and bond them, and then you rule them. So this concept of loot and booty is the concept of the Jews and the Christian concept, not Muslims. And I've already mentioned that interest or usury is not mentioned in the Quran. What is mentioned in the Quran, we'll see. We'll see. But since people have translated that word, usury or interest, I'll explain to you why it is not so. If you see Surah Al-ANFAL 8 and Ayah 41, where we will see how and what Allah describes about interest or increase, the riba, the increase. وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّمَا غَنِمْتُم مِّن شَيْءٍ فَأَنَّ لِلَّهِ خُمُسَهُ وَلِلرَّسُولِ وَلِذِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْيَتَامَى وَالْمَسَاكِينِ وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ إِن كُنتُمْ آمَنْتُمْ بِاللَّهِ وَمَا أَنزَلْنَا عَلَى عَبْدِنَا يَوْمَ الْفُرْقَانِ يَوْمَ الْتَقَى الْجَمْعَانِ وَاللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. And know that surely whatever ghanim profit you get from anything, if you believe in Allah, then surely 1/5 of it, sadaqah, charity, is for Allah, that is God, and Rasul, that is the messenger, and for the qurba, the relatives, and for yatama, the orphans, and for the masakin, the needy, who are reduced to poverty, and for ibn sabil, the sons of the way. And whatever we send down over our servant on the day of the division, the day when two accumulations are met, collected, and Allah has power over everything. Now, if this verse, I will discuss this verse in portions. First of all, one sentence, the first phrase, وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّمَا غَنِمْتُم مِّن شَيْءٍ, and know that surely whatever ghanim profit you get from anything, it simply means this. Now, the people have translated this word ghanim as loot and booty in other people's translation. Here, if you load wa'alamu, I'll first explain what has been already written, and then we'll have a comparative view what I'm translated as ghanim, as profit. Wa'alamu annama ghanimtum min shay'in, and know that surely whatever ghanim profit, instead of I write profit, I write booty, as what people have written. Booty means loot. you get from anything. What it is, in other words, Allah is ordering the believers that whatever loot or booty you get from anything, you get from anything. And then the categories are defined, that is for Allah, that loot is for Allah and the Messenger, and then that is for they are the categories. Before going to the categories, I am just trying to put it in your mind that is God justified to loot the people's money and then give it to God? Does it make sense? No. And then if it is, they say it was between the wars, when the wars took place, and when we, as I explained in the Bible, when you take up the country, you loot the people's money. Is it justified? That's in the Bible, not in the Quran. That you loot and give it to the people. That is for God. So the translation I'm telling you in dictionaries, there is a translation for the word ghanim as profit. At the same time, there is a word loot also and booty also. So you have to use your mind and think, would Allah ask the believers that they should fight first, and once they conquer the lands, and then they loot, as mentioned in the Bible? Not so. So now if I translate this meaning here as profit, whatever, know that surely whatever profit you get from anything, then surely these are the categories. Then again you think that now we have to, this 20% in 1/5 is 100, out of 100 is 20. Out of 100 units, 20 is the 1/5. Now if you note that in the world, no one is giving 20%. Because you are expecting a war should take place among the believers against the non-believers, and you should win the war. And after winning the war, you loot the people of the poor people, and then you give it to God Almighty and this and that, mala ghanimat. That still we are waiting for thousands of years to do so. We are always losing the wars against the non-Muslims. So they are doing the same. They're looting you, and they're taking the booty and becoming the powerful, taking the oil wealth. Why are you getting angry? If you are supposed to do the same thing, if the non-Muslims and the Christians are doing the same to you, which you think God has ordered you to do it. For they can produce the evidence, this is the Bible. In the Bible it is written like that, you attack the city. If they don't surrender, attack the city. And then take the loot, kill the men, keep the women alive, and the livestock and all the belongings, you take it. But if you say that it is our also the same law, the Quran doesn't say that. So there is no war here, there is nothing. So whatever business you are doing, or you are doing a job, or anything, from anything you get profit, these are the shares. So this is the first explanation of the part. Now I have to explain to you, these categories here Quran says are 6. فَأَنَّ لِلَّهِ خُمُسَهُ وَلِلرَّسُولِ 1/5 is for Allah and the Messenger. وَلِذِي الْقُرْبَى are the relatives. 3. وَالْيَتَامَى are the orphans. 4. وَالْمَسَاكِينَ are the needy. وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ sons of the way. These all become 6. So I just want to take you to another verse, next page, 59:7, and then we'll come back again. مَا أَفَى اللَّهُ عَلَى رَسُولِهِ مِنْ أَهْلِ الْقُرَىٰ فَلِلَّهِ وَلِلرَّسُولِ وَلِذِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْيَتَامَى وَالْمَسَاكِينِ وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ كَيْ لَا يَكُونَ دُولَةً بَيْنَ الْأَغْنِيَاءِ مِنْكُمْ وَمَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ. I'm reading further also. لِلْفُقَرَاءِ الْمُهَاجِرِينَ الَّذِينَ أُخْرِجُوا مِنْ دِيَارِهِمْ وَأَمْوَالِهِمْ يَبْتَغُونَ فَضْلًا مِنَ اللَّهِ وَرِضْوَانًا وَيَنْصُرُونَ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الصَّادِقُونَ وَالَّذِينَ تَبَوُا الدَّارَ وَالْإِيمَانَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ يُحِبُّونَ مَنْ هَاجَرَ إِلَيْهِمْ وَلَا يَجِدُونَ فِي صُدُورِهِمْ حَاجَةً مِمَّا أُوتُوا وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ وَمَنْ يُوقَ شُحَّ نَفْسِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. I will read the translation. Whatever Allah has bestowed from the people of the cities over His Messenger is for Allah and for the Rasul, the Messenger, and the Qurba, the relatives, and the Yatama, the orphans, for the Masakin, the needy, and for Ibn Sabil, the sons of the way. so the wealth may not be a thing taken in turns amongst the rich of you. So whatever he gives you, you take it, and whatever he forbids you about it, so forbid. And take guard of Allah, surely Allah is strong in pursuit. And further, sadaqah charity is for the fuqara, muhajirin, the poor migrants, who are expelled from their circles and their wealth, seeking the bounty from Allah and good pleasure and helping Allah and His Messenger. They are those who are truthful. And sadaqah charity is for those who are settlers of the circle and of the belief, who migrated from before them. They love whosoever migrate towards them, and they do not find in their chests any need for what they are given, and they do not have any effect over themselves, even if poverty is with them. And whosoever is guarded against the stinginess of his soul, then they are those who are prosperous. Now these Al-Hashr 59, 7 and 8 and 9. In these three verses, why I have come to explain why I am dealing these verses, and then we'll go back again. In these verses, I'm just trying to emphasize one point, and then we'll discuss further points. The one point is that first of all, from the people of the cities, from the rich or the people from the cities, Allah is giving some money or some sadaqah to the messenger. Allah is bestowed from the people of the cities over His messenger. And the same six categories are mentioned exactly as we read in the previous ayah. The categories are the same. If you note, Ma of Allah, there Allah is asking you to give this to the six categories. Here the six categories are mentioned. It is given to the messenger, so the messenger will distribute this among the six categories. But there in the following, the six categories are the same, and the 7 and 8, in the 7 and 8 are two more categories. So that is why I am reading this. Lil fuqara il muhajirin alladina ukhriju min diyarihim. Sadaqah charity is for fuqara muhajirin, the poor migrants who are expelled from their circles and their wealth. And then there are the 8 categories. Walladina tabaw dara wal imana min qablihim, and the sadaqah charity are for those who are settlers of the circles and of the belief, who migrated from before them. The category is the same, but they are two different people, because one are already settlers of the belief, they have migrated, they are in belief, they are the settlers, and one are migrating, this is a separate group, who are poor people who are migrating in belief. So these two, if you add all this, they becomes 8 categories. So these are the 8 categories, and the wealth is given from the rich people from the cities to the messenger. To the messenger it is given, and these categories are mentioned here as total 8 categories. And in the previous ayah that I read, I just want to clarify that ayah is saying that whatever profit you get from anything, you have to give to Allah and His messenger and the 6 categories. So you must know there are 8 categories that you have to give, because the other verse says that messenger is getting sadaqah charity is 8 categories. So this ayah explains that, the other one. Now the behavior, we come back and we'll see. Another point here is in the first ayah, وَعْلَمُوا أَنَّمَا غَنِمْتُم مِّن شَيْءٍ فَأَنَّ لِلَّهِ خُمُسَهُ وَلِلرَّسُولِ وَلِذِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْيَتَامَى وَالْمَسَاكِينِ وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ. And know what, surely whatever ghanim profit you get from anything, if you believe in Allah, then surely 1/5 of the sadaqah charity is for Allah and the Rasul, the messenger, and for qurba, the relatives, for yatama, the orphans, and for the masakin, the needy, who are reduced to poverty, and for the sons of the way. These 6 categories and 2 further categories, people have to give to the messenger, because the further ayah says, Ma fallahu ala rasuli min ahlil qura falillahi walirrasuli walidhil qurba. So whatever the business people, community, or whatever the rich class people, or whatever the people are earning money, are getting the profit and benefit, they have to give to the categories are to the Rasul, and the Rasul will share it to the other categories. Now the question is, the further ayah says, In kuntum amantum billah wa ma anzalna ala abdina Yawm al-Furqan, Yawm al-Taqal Jam'an. Now here it says, whatever we send down over our servant on the day of the divisions, the day when the two accumulations are met, collected. So the two accumulations are met and the division takes place to the servant of Allah. Now who is the servant of Allah here referring is the messenger. So there is another amount of money is given to the messenger. One is from your profit, whatever you earn from 100, 20 you have to give it to the categories. And in that categories are the other categories. The other amount, if you go to Surah number Mujadala 58 and Ayah 12. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha najaytumur rasula faqaddimu bayna yaday najwakum sadaqa dhalika khairul lakum wa athhar fa illam tajidu fa inna Allah ghafurur rahim. Oh, you believe, when you consult the messenger, then advance sadaqah, the charity that is between two hands of your consultation. That is better and purer for you. So if you do not find, then surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. Now here Allah is addressing to the believers that whenever you want to consult the messenger, then you have to advance the sadaqah charity before the consultation. And that is better for you and that is purified for you. Now, for example, now what is happening nowadays, how